Hello, my name is Ed Thompson, and I'm the author of the rootspersona plugin for WordPress. The rootspersona plugin allows you to create family history pages on your WordPress website. Today I'd like to show you how to install the rootspersona plugin on your website. We start out here at wordpress.org, the plugin directory page, and you'll see that the page for rootspersona has descriptive information, basic information on how to install, answers to frequently asked questions, screenshots, show you a little bit of what rootspersona can do here, other notes of interest, and a changelog, which you'll find interesting because it displays what bug fixes or new features have been added in the most recent releases. Here I can download the plugin. However, I'm going to install it directly from my WordPress website because the dashboard makes this job a lot easier. Here's a generic fresh install of the WordPress website. It has the default theme and default pages, and I've made no changes to it at all. I can go to Site Administration, Plugins, Add New, type in the name of the plugin or a keyword from the plugin. Here it's rootspersona, and install now. You can see how easy this is. This is also the easiest way to upgrade any plugin. I can activate the plugin, and rootspersona is now installed and activated. Now, what does install and activated mean? Well, first of all, if we look at the WordPress database, we'll see that by default WordPress creates 11 tables in the database for managing the website. If I refresh that, you see now that I have 40 tables. That's because the rootspersona creates 29 tables for holding all of your GEDCOM data. These tables have the standard WordPress prefix as defined in WP config.php, and you're discouraged from actually using WP underscore, but since it's just a demo site, I took a shortcut. Followed by RP underscore and then the table name. And RP underscore lets you know that these are rootspersona tables used by the plugin. Now, you don't need to see these tables, you don't need to add data to the tables. I'm just showing you the artifacts that rootspersona is using behind the scenes. Also, if I go to the WordPress options table, you'll see that the plugin has created an entry called Persona Plugin, which stores all information about the different options that you as the site owner have selected for managing rootspersona. Now, if I go back to my web page and select Settings, you'll see here that rootspersona has indeed created a new settings page. I'm going to select it, and there are options here for managing privacy on your website. There's options here for managing various display options, so you can configure the persona pages the way you want them displayed. And there's also style information so that you can have rootspersona generate pages that are more consistent with your theme. I can also go to a rootspersona page under the Tools menu, and you see here are the various utilities that are created by the plugin. This is where I would come if I wanted to upload a GEDCOM file and have it loaded into the database. If I wanted to create a page based on a person who's already been loaded to the database. There are different tools here for validating the database, for adding source pages from the GEDCOM file, deleting all the persona pages, and if you're upgrading, an upgrade utility. If I go to Pages, you'll see here that by default rootspersona has created 3 pages. An evidence index for listing any source pages that you create later as you're using the plugin. A person index for listing any persona pages that you create while you're using the plugin. And a rootspersona tree, and this has a special use. Any of you who have used the plugin before know that as you begin to develop hundreds and maybe thousands of persona pages, and some of you have told me you have, beginning to manage the menus, well, the menus become unmanageable. And so in order to give you the most freedom possible to manage your own menus, I've created the rootspersona tree as a parent page under which all the persona and source pages are created. And then I've added a filter on the menu that will keep the roots persona tree and all of its children from being displayed by default. Now you still have control over using other menu plugins or other menu management systems of displaying whatever pages or lists you want to, and those pages are also always available through the evidence index or the person index. However, by doing this, I've improved the performance of the plugin when it renders a page, since it's not creating that menu option by default. And I've also kept Roots Persona from creating a menu nightmare. Some new users would install the plugin, not create a parent page, and then have rows and rows and rows of menu items for the people that they had just imported. So I create the Roots Persona tree by default now, and also create a filter to hide it. And indeed, if we go to my website, you'll see here that the evidence index is listed, the person index is listed, but the Roots Persona tree page is not listed, nor would any of the persona pages you created after that. Now let's say you've installed the plugin and you've changed your mind, you don't want to use the plugin. I can go back to Site Admin, Plugins, and I can deactivate the plugin. Now prior to version 2.0, deactivating the plugin actually uninstalled it, deleting all of your persona pages. This was a mistake, it turns out, because a lot of the upgrade processes encourage you to deactivate all your plugins before you upgrade. That would effectively eliminate all your pages, and that was not the intent of deactivation. So now deactivation in Roots Persona does basically nothing. WordPress continues to do whatever it does behind the scenes when you deactivate a plugin, but I have not deleted any of your persona pages. You see the evidence index, person index, and Roots Persona tree are still here, and any persona pages you had created would also still be present. Now if I delete, that's a different story, because deleting the plugin is uninstalling it. So at this point I have deleted all of the persona data. If I go back to the database and refresh, you see I've gone back down to 11 tables. All of the Roots Persona tables have been deleted, and your GEDCOM data is gone. If I go to the options table, you'll see that there is no persona plugin option entry anymore in this table. And if I go back to pages, you'll see that, well, what's this? The person index page is gone, but the evidence index page is still here. Well, that's a bug that will be fixed in a future release. The Roots Persona tree page is still here. That's not a bug, that's intentional. In previous versions of Roots Persona, I had the concept of a parent page, which turned out to be a very confusing concept, but it had the same goal of managing menu clutter. In the new version, I automatically create the Roots Persona tree page as the parent page, but I do allow you to still override it as I did in the old version. Now, since I allow you to override it, I don't feel comfortable deleting it, so it's left for you to delete if you're not using it anymore. Now, I discourage you from overriding the Roots Persona tree. There's really no reason to anymore, but nonetheless, I don't delete it if you chose to. But if I want to get rid of it now, I just have to trash it. And I go back to my web page, and my web page is clean. So that's basically how to install the Roots Persona plugin, or any WordPress plugin for that matter. And if you get tired of it, also how to uninstall it. I hope that you find this video tutorial helpful as you continue to use WordPress to manage your websites. Thank you.